Stephanie Thayer here. I am a certified health coach. I'm a certified sports nutritionist, and we have a business called Live Your Life Out Loud. We want to help you thrive from the inside, and it will show on the outside. If you don't follow along, we would love to have you subscribe and join us here. Today, I am starting part 2 of nutritional quality. So if you haven't watched part 1, I encourage you to go back and watch that. We talk about fruits and vegetables, what is a better choice for you, and depending on your lifestyle and what you're doing. So to revisit really quickly, this is the accurate plate size, 9 inches. It's not very big. Go check out your plate size. Most people's dinner plates are 12 or 13 inches today. I highly encourage you to get new plates that are smaller. Those are paper plates. I have teenagers. It's just easier. If you are at a healthy weight, what does that mean? Well, it means you have good energy, you have good sleep. If you're a female, your waist is less than 31 inches. If you're a male, your waist is less than 37 inches. You have good labs, then this is for you. You take that plate and you split it into quarters. You want a quarter fruit, a quarter vegetable, a quarter grain, and a quarter protein. If what I described as healthy is not where you're at, we should chat, because we need to adjust things to get you to the right place. And really, we want your labs to be great and your inside to be great. And when that happens, then your outside will be great. I happen to coach with my husband. He is a physician. He has a lot of experience in nutrition, and he knows what happens to your organs from a lot of the fad diets are out there, a lot of the choices that we can make. So I highly encourage you to reach out to us, because we're a fantastic team. We've helped over 1,000 people be successful in losing, sometimes gaining, getting good labs, and maintaining their weight. And that's what we want for you, is for you to maintain it, because it's one thing to lose, but it's another thing to keep it off. So with that said, let's jump into fat in protein. So there are all kinds of protein sources. You can get vegetarian, you could even get vegan, which is harder, and then you could get meat. So I'm going to start with meat. So most fish is good for you, right? And a lot of people like fish because it tends to be very dense in protein and less fat. Salmon is a higher fat fish, but it's packed with omegas, which are fantastic for you, especially your joints, your mind, for your brain to work. But the ones I recommend for sustainability and mercury levels and things like that are Atlantic and Pacific salmon, smoked salmon, Atlantic and Pacific mackerel, bluefin tuna, oysters, and then squid, which most people know as calamari. And then the canned fishes that are good are salmon, sardines, so Caesar salad if you're making a real one, mackerel, and tuna, preferably in water. So I don't know if you've seen at the grocery stores, they have those little pouches. You can get actually, it used to be canned tuna and canned chicken, but now you can get them in a pouch, and they are a little bit more moist, and they're great for traveling. So I take them with me, and then I can just, have a little fork or spoon in the car. Fantastic snack, good lean protein on the go. Okay, what you want to look for with meats is the fat content. So when you see a ground beef and it says 85% lean, 15% fat, that's by weight. That is not by calories. So to make nutrition somewhat simple, 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. A gram of a carbohydrate or a protein is only 4 calories. So when they're telling you it's by weight, it's deceptive, because that meat is actually going to be really high calorically in fat. So obviously, if you can choose ground meats that are a leaner meat, really, really helpful. So I'm going to start with the leanest cuts of meat that are great choices for you: buffalo, elk, and venison. The total fat is 17% of your calories come from fat with them. And our personal favorite, we take half ground elk, half ground sirloin. We add some onion, we add some garlic, and we make those into burgers. They're to die for. You can't really make an elk burger on its own, because the elk meat is so lean that it will fall apart. So just a little trick, I highly recommend it. Okay, next up we have pork loin, 26% fat by calories. a round steak, a veal chop, Canadian bacon, and then filet mignon. Those are the leanest. And filet mignon is 42% of the calories are from fat. So you don't want to have that all the time, right? Filet is my favorite, by the way. Okay, then where we're getting into, we probably want to skip or not use as often. Sirloin steak, 44% of your calories are fat. Flank steak, also 44%. Lamb ribs, 48%. Spare ribs, 52%. The ground beef that's very lean, so this is like 93.7 that you see, is 58% fat calories. Beef sausage, 80% fat calories. So if you're like, how do I figure it out? Okay, look at the nutrition package, and let's just say, for example, it says 100 calories per serving, and then it says 6 grams of fat. I can do 6 grams times 9 calories. That tells me 54 of the calories are from fat. So that particular meat would be 54% fat. Fat is essential. You need it for your body. Every cell is insulated with fat. But most people have too much fat in their diet, and we see a lot of medical problems because of too high of fat. I wish my husband was here. I'd have him tell you all the things that he sees as a surgeon and what organs he has to remove and what he can't help you with because of a high fat diet. It's really, really bad. So maybe I can get him to supplement on here. So I caution you highly with those higher fat meats. It's a treat. Do not make it a regular thing, okay? Now I'm going to go into fat content of poultry. So mostly better choices here. So turkey breast, only 18% fat calories. Chicken breast, 24%. Chicken breast with the skin, 36%. Turkey breast, 38%. Dark meat chicken, 43%. Turkey dark meat, 47%. So those are probably your best bets. Then we get into the ones that you want to have sparingly or really not at all. Turkey sausage, 50% fat calories. Duck, 50% fat calories. Dark meat chicken with the skin on, 50%. Cornish game ham with the skin on, 63%. And turkey hot dogs, 70%. So you want to avoid those. If you can't tell, I live around a lot of hunters, so I've done all of the research to include game because, hey, I love how hunters take care of animals and what they do and that they use everything, but we need to talk about it, right? Okay, eggs are also a great source of protein. Eggs, the egg white is a complete protein. It's the only food you can get other than breast milk, which I've never had as an adult, but those are the 2 complete proteins that you can take in. Otherwise, you get all of your other essential amino acids from various other foods, but it's not complete. So egg white's fantastic. Eggs are great for you. The yolk is high in fat, so I don't recommend that people have more than 2 servings in a week of like 3 whole eggs. I usually do 1 whole egg and some egg white because I do love eggs. They're so good, but you don't want your fat content too high, so you got to watch that and be careful a little bit. There are so many vegetarian and vegan products out there. Really important to look at what they are made of. Almost all of them are processed. Many come from tofu. There's a lot of great pea protein products out there currently. There's also some really bad products out there. So what I recommend is that you flip it over, you look at the protein content, you look at the fat content, just like we've been talking about. How much fat is this and how much protein is this really? And what are the ingredients, right? We want to make sure that what we're taking in is good for us. You don't want to be doing a disservice to yourself. It is possible to get all of the protein that you need as a vegan. It is hard to do. I am a fan of having a good amount of protein in your life. It helps you maintain your muscle mass. So I'll just summarize with that. Next video, still coming up. We've got legumes, grains, dairy, and fat. We got a lot to go through. Okay, I decided to do the legumes and the dairy with the other proteins because they kind of go together. Okay, so a lot of vegetarian and vegans do prefer to have legumes. So most of us just think of those as beans, right? So let's talk through them. They're all actually good choices. I'll tell you which ones are better and then which ones are good. So better, soybean, which can be edamame. Soy gets a really bad rap. There were some old studies that said, oh, it's bad for you and breast cancer. And I have an entire binder that my husband has put together of PubMed research showing soy is actually great. It's a great source of protein, so don't be discouraged by that. Obviously, if you can have it less processed, it's better. Some of the products out there are highly processed, and then you start to strip down the nutritional quality. Chickpeas, which are garbanzo beans, lentils, and black beans, okay? Those are great choices. Good, but not great, are lima beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, white beans, and black-eyed peas. So those are awesome. They are more simple carbohydrates. So with the good protein, it's also a quicker carbohydrate. So depending on what your goals are, you want to be careful having too many beans. One, a lot of fiber, so you're going to be farting and pooping. So, think of the company that you're in. And then also, you want to mix in some other things, because just doing that is also going to have a lot of carbohydrates for you, and you may not reach the goals that you want. Okay, cheeses. There are some cheeses that are much lower in fat and also calorically. So I don't know if you've seen an ounce of cheese, but it's not that much. It's very sad, because I could eat 10 ounces of cheese at a time. And I have actually found that my body doesn't love cheese. Most of my clients, their inflammation goes down drastically when they remove cheese. And it's sad, because cheese is delicious, but it may not love your body, so keep that in mind. Okay, cheeses that have lower calories. Cottage cheese, it's a fantastic choice. You can get a low-fat one, even better. Ricotta cheese, soy, and feta cheese. Okay, pretty good are mozzarella and American cheese. And then brie and blue cheese are sparingly. And then ones you want to avoid, I'm so sorry, provolone, Monterey Jack, Havarti, Parmesan, cheddar, Colby, Swiss, and Gouda. So all the really soft cheeses that we love, they're just way higher calorically. And I mean, if you have a charcuterie board, you could easily be downing 2,000 calories and not even think about it. So just be mindful of that. Dairy can add great flavoring. We just want to use it sparingly, right? Okay, seeds and nuts. A lot of them are low glycemic. They're really good choices. Peanuts is actually the highest protein nut. Brazil nut, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, pecans, almonds, hazelnuts, and walnuts are the ones that I recommend. But you guys, a serving of nuts is like 10 to 15 nuts. So be careful, because a lot of us get ourselves in trouble. We have way too many nuts. All right, stay tuned. We'll go through grains,